Afternoon, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, and all of Central Alabama. This is the CBS 42 News at Noon.
Breaking right now, firefighters on the scene of a church fire in Fairfield. Good afternoon to you. I'm Jamie Langley. We're glad you're joining us today. This is a live look at the fire at Christ Episcopal Church. This is on Lloyd Nolan Parkway in Fairfield. We have a crew on the scene working to learn more, and as soon as more is released, we'll update you on air and online. New at noon today, 3 people are in custody after an early morning chase on Interstate 59. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called to a house in the Eastern Valley area around 4:15 this morning. They were investigating a suspicious person in a car, and when deputies arrived, the driver sped off. Well, a chase started on Eastern Valley Road, going all the way to Interstate 59 in Bessemer before the driver crashed, and formal charges for the 3 suspects are expected later today. New at noon, a Tuscaloosa County man is charged with murder and the death of a missing Cottondale woman. Investigators found 30-year-old Jeanette Brannon's body in the woods near Richard Sexton's house. After interviewing Sexton and searching his house, investigators arrested him, and he is in the Tuscaloosa County Jail pending a $75,000 bond. New at noon today, President-elect Donald Trump is breaking with protocol and weighing in on a major foreign policy decision, and he's named Kellyanne Conway to a key position. CBS's Craig Boswell brings us these new developments.
President-elect Donald Trump is calling on the Obama administration to veto a United Nations resolution that would demand a halt to Israeli settlements. The president-elect issued a statement Thursday morning saying peace between Israel and the Palestinians can only come through direct negotiations, and that the motion weakens Israel's negotiating position. Mr. Trump's statement came hours after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted that he wants a U.S. veto
against Israel.
Egypt introduced the draft resolution which condemns the presence of Jewish settlements in the West Bank and eastern Jerusalem.
One thing I can say about Prime Minister Netanyahu is he has always been candid with us.
President Obama and Mr. Netanyahu have not always seen eye to eye, and the administration has not yet said how the U.S. plans to vote. President-elect Trump also announced he will bring a trusted aide with him when he comes to the White House, naming Kellyanne Conway as a senior advisor.
Well, that means I'm going to the West Wing to continue my service to President-elect Donald Trump.
Conway will help shape the message of Mr. Trump's administration. Thursday morning, she defended the president-elect's call for tighter immigration policies.
Donald Trump has made very clear that we need better vetting policies in these countries that train, harbor, and export terrorists.
Wednesday afternoon, Mr. Trump said the terror attacks overseas prove his call for a stricter immigration policy is the right approach. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
In her new role, Conway will be the highest-ranking woman in the Trump administration. Right now, you're taking a live look at Highway 280, the busy, from our new Grandview traffic camera, and we're just 3 days away until Christmas, and you can see that traffic is already getting busy. AAA expects more people will travel for the holidays this year than any other year on record, and we have important information to get you ready for all of that. There are expected to be record crowds at the airport and on the freeways. And we can thank rising salaries and lower gas prices on the extra crowds, too. No matter if you're driving or flying, leave early, give yourself plenty of time, especially for airport security. And you can also use your smartphone to download your airline's app for faster service. Now, the roads are also getting busy here in Birmingham, and there's construction starting this evening that could affect your Christmas travel plans. Real-time traffic anchor Rachel Lundberg has the details for us.
Well, before we head into the holiday weekend, there's a few construction projects taking place on I-20/59 and I-65 downtown. Let me update you on these. Tonight, 7 p.m. Normally, we see the lane closures around 8 p.m., so this is going to be an hour earlier until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. just in the southbound direction from 16th Street until you get to the junction. The second project taking place on I-20/59, not I-65. 2 lanes are going to be closed. First the left, and then they're going to move to the right and close 2 lanes at 9 p.m. tonight until tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Then they will reopen both double lanes that will be closed overnight just in the northbound direction. The third project is on I-65 southbound. Again, right lane is going to be closed from the junction until you get right just north of University Boulevard at 6th Avenue. They're doing some median repairs there. So from the junction until 6th Avenue, expect that right lane to be closed until tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. That's the latest for now with your real-time traffic.
Okay, as we mentioned, 3 days before Christmas, we know it's warm here in Alabama, but it turns out it's also warm in the North Pole. or for average anyway. Temperatures there are forecast to hit the 20s today. And while that's extremely cold for us here in Alabama, this is unusually warm for the North Pole. The current temperature is about 50 degrees above average, in fact, and the warm will be around for a few days until extremely cold air arrives. Well, we have Storm Track meteorologist Michael Smith joining us now for our first look at our Thursday afternoon forecast, 3 days away from Christmas. And it's going to get warmer here, isn't it? It's like tropical Christmas.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie? It's warmer in the North Pole. It's pretty warm right here at home for this time of year. Let me show you a live look outside. As we check out the Magic City, look at the temperature. We're already up to 60 degrees. Our average high for this time of year is 54. We started out with clouds this morning. Now we've got plenty of sunshine as those clouds have thinned out. A live look at the Fayette County Courthouse. Temperatures range from 63 right now in Fayette to 60 in Birmingham, 59. Good afternoon to you in Coleman. So here's what you need to know as you head through this Thursday afternoon. Pretty warm for this time of year. A mix of sun and clouds for the remainder of the afternoon. As we head into the evening, sunset at 4:44. Temperatures will gradually slide down out of the 50s into the mid-40s by 8 p.m. I'll have much more on the holiday forecast coming up in a few minutes. Jamie.
All right, Michael, thank you. Developing right now, Birmingham police are investigating an overnight shooting that left one person dead. We first told you about this as breaking news this morning. Well, that shooting happened on Court I and Vinesville Road in Inslee. Just into our newsroom, we've now learned that 40-year-old Andre Brown was killed in that shooting. And right now, police do not have any suspects in custody. Also developing right now, firefighters are working to figure out what caused this house fire. They responded just after midnight at a duplex on Avenue J in Inslee. People living there say they heard a loud bang in the back of the duplex before seeing flames. They escaped safely, but it was contained to one room, and there's major damage, that's smoke damage. New at noon, a mental health care worker in Wisconsin is dead, another in serious condition. A shooting happened at a group home in Madison, Wisconsin yesterday, and 3 adults who live at the center were not hurt. Well, police arrested a possible suspect soon after. Also new at noon today, new U.S. satellite imagery shows activity at a North Korea weapons plant. U.S. intelligence leaders are still working to learn if it is actually making weapons, and they also say North Korea is on the short list of places that could generate an international crisis. New today, a former USA gymnastics doctor has pleaded not guilty to child pornography charges. Dr. Larry Nassar, you see here, faces 1 count of receipt of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography. Nassar worked for USA Gymnastics and has been accused of sexual assaulting gymnasts under his care. Developing right now, police across Europe are taking part in the massive manhunt for the suspect in Monday's deadly Berlin truck attack. 24-year-old Tunisian native Anis Amri is considered armed and dangerous. Meanwhile, the market where the deadly attack happened has now reopened. Roxana Saberi has the latest from New York.
The Christmas market in Berlin was back in business Thursday, but the mood was somber as many came to pay their respects to the 12 people killed. Big concrete blocks were placed at the market's entrance for extra security. German authorities conducted raids overnight as they searched for the suspect, 24-year-old Anis Amri. At his family's home in Tunisia, his brother urged him to turn himself in. He doesn't represent us or our family, he said. Video on a Facebook page attributed to Amri is one of the few moving images of the suspect. German officials said Amri entered the country seeking asylum but was rejected. He was supposed to be deported in June, but it never happened. He was already known to authorities as a possible terror threat and had been under surveillance until 3 months before the attack. He was put on a U.S. no-fly list 5 months ago. Authorities confirmed Amri's fingerprints were found in the cab of the truck. Giuseppe Lagrassa received 25 stitches after the truck came crashing into the crowd. He and his wife were in Berlin celebrating their first anniversary. He says he couldn't see anything because of the blood coming from his forehead. 2 Americans were among the 48 injured. Roxana Saberi for CBS News, New York.
One American is still in the hospital and the others hurt have now been released. Well, new at noon today, the numbers are in, and nearly 6.4 million Americans have now signed up for Obamacare coverage for 2017. And this is up more than 400,000 from a year ago. The Obama administration is making a big push for enrollment as the president prepares to leave office. Well, President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to repeal and replace the health care program. Right now, Life South Blood Bank says it's facing a critical need for blood donations. And while donors of all blood types are needed, O-negative supplies have hit an emergency low level. And this means there is less than a 2-day supply for hospitals in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. There's still time and you can help out. We have information on how you can do that on our website, WIAT.com. Just search the keyword Life South. Happening today, the Etowah County Sheriff's Office will host an American Red Cross blood drive. That'll be from 1 until 7. It's in the lobby of Premier Cinemas at the Gadsden Mall, and all donors are encouraged to bring a toy to be given to children in Etowah County. Free t-shirts will be given out as well while supplies last.